Welcome, guys. So we keep solving physics GRE, and before you watch the video, please subscribe to my channel. Okay, so 61 say that the particle with mass and the charge Q and moving into some region contains the magnetic field shown in above, and if the particle strikes the wall at a distance d, and ask you about if the charge to mass ratio is doubled, what's the distance changes. Okay, so the important things is the QV cross B. Basically, is the charge in the magnetic field, and basically, if you put in your velocity are perpendicular to magnetic field, so basically the answer is QVB equals to mv squared over r, and the d basically is 2r. Okay, so basically, if we see that, we know that we can cancel 1v. Okay, and so our r is basically mv divided by qb. So this v is constant, this magnetic field constant, so r is basically some constant divided by q over m, and this is the charge to mass ratio. So when charge to mass ratio doubled, the distance should be a half. So the answer is E. Alright, once you derive this equation, the rest is simple. So 62 is consider closed cylinder Gaussian surface. Basically, you have some surface and some charges, and the electric flux out through the proportional surface of mark A is this. The flux through the rest of surface most nearly. Okay. Okay, so basically we know that phi total, we have some phi total, right? Phi total is equal to phi plus phi rest. This is probably all we know, and this is the Q over epsilon naught. Okay, so since we already know the Q, and we know the epsilon naught, and we know the phi A, so the phi rest can be easily computed. Just 10 to the negative 9 and divided by this. This epsilon now constant, you can go to the first page and see the constant and plus 100. So this is 1000 over 8.85, so it's 100, close to 100, so basically it's 200. So the answer is E. Ask about so 63 ask about the nuclear decay, and also you see there's a neutrino. Okay, so common sense in the standard model, neutrino is a weak force. So the answer is D, weak interaction. Okay, 64. Let's give you the total angular momentum. Okay, so everyone knows about the total angular momentum is L plus 1 h bar. So this tells you that h1 L is 1. So how many z component? Basically h bar 0 or minus h bar. Basically you have 3 kind of m. So 1 h bar. For general L, you have 2 L plus 1 h bar choose. So in this case we have only 3. So the answer is D. So this is the common quantum mechanics. The answer is D. Okay, 65 harmonic oscillator. So this is all question you need to remember. The first you need to remember is the energy level. Okay, the spectrum of even spacing states. Basically, each spectrum is 0.5 h bar omega. Okay, so first one is correct. Potential energy linear. Oh no, potential is the square of x squared. So the ground state is characterized by 0 kinetic energy. Is this one correct? Definitely false, right? Because you already know that the expectation of the momentum, the kinetic energy and the potential must be the same. So each one is just a half of this. Basically, or you can do the computation and easily get the third one is false. A non-zero probability found outside. Yeah. So the force is the fourth statement is a common fact of the quantum mechanics. So the answer is the first one and the first one. So the answer is C. Basically, this formula is the most important in GRE. Each time you maybe every time I have seen this question in different kind of form. Okay, so 66. The muon considered is have electrons, and if you replace the hydrogen atom with a muon, and what's the energy level changes? Okay, nice. This is difficult. Okay. Basically one just ask about the mass change. So all you need to know is find out the mass change. Remember that the effective mass, right? This is the important thing. The effective mass is basically the 2 mass m plus m. I should use effective m times n over m plus m. So in the electron, what we have is me and the proton mp divided by me over mp. But now we have the effective for the muon is mu mp and mu plus mp. So the energy just proportional to the mass term. So basically the answer must be their ratio. So which one is their ratio? Which one is their ratio? The muon divided by electron. Right. So mu should be in the numerators, and me should be the denominators. Oh, this is mu. So basically, and the mp will cancel. So we have mu over me, mu plus mp, me plus mp. So the answer is D. This is somewhat difficult. Okay, 67 that the large parallel persistor consists 2 square plates that measure 0.5 on each side. A charge current 9 amps is applied to a capacitor, which the following gives the approximate rate of change of electric field between the plates. Okay, so what we need to find is the change of the electric field. So we need to find the electric field, right? So electric field basically is sigma divided by epsilon. So this is the common fact that you need to remember. And this can be written as a charge Q epsilon naught times the area divided by area. So what we need to find is d dt, right? Basically this is dq dt epsilon naught a. So basically dq dt is the current. So this is the answer. Okay, so all we need to know is plug the constant 9 times divided by epsilon naught is 8.85 times negative 12 times 0.5 square. So the answer is, we can estimate the scale. So this is 4 times 10 to the 12. So the answer is D. Okay. So 68 is the electronics. Basically, you see the circuit and ask about the current. Okay, so let me use my way to solve it. Basically, I like to solve the solve the circuit. Okay, so what you have to know is the symmetry. So symmetry can tell you that these three must have the same voltage. So there's no current from here to here. So these are parallel. These are series. So you have 2R, 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 and then you have 3 of them which are parallel. So the current is V divided by 2R over 3. So the answer is 3V over 2R. That's it. Simple question. Okay, and 68 is also electronics. I ask you about the VO divided by VI. Okay, nice. If you learn about some electronics, you know that there's a thing called impedance. Okay, so there's R, and this impedance for capacitance is J omega C, 1 over J omega C. So VO divided by VI is just J omega C, 1 over J omega C plus R. This is imaginary, means that their phases are different. But you only ask about the amplitude, right? So this is current, but when you take the amplitude, you just take the square. Okay, so you can compute the square. Sorry, what I'm writing about. So the numerator is this, the denominator is this. Right? So you know that when omega is goes to infinity, then this term should be 0. When omega is equals to 1, this term should be 1. Should be 1. Should be right, should be 1. Okay, so the answer is, it's nonlinear in omega. No, it's nonlinear in omega. So the answer is D. The answer is D. Let me show you another way. So one important fact in the electronics is that when omega goes to infinity, basically that means your circuit changes very rapidly. So capacitance looks like a short, and when frequency goes to 0, then the capacitance look like open. So when omega goes to 0, then you can view this open. So this voltage can there's no circuit current here. So if this is voltage VI, then this is VI. So the gain is just 1. When omega goes to infinity, then you can view it's short. So the circuit there's a current from here to here. So this is 0. So then this is potential of this point 0. If there's a circuit, there's a current here, and then this is also 0. So now when when omega goes to infinity, then the gain is 0. So remember that what I write. Let me summarize that when omega goes to infinity, capacitance looks like short. When I say short, just you can view it's basically it's wire. When omega goes to 0, then C looks like open. So once you remember this, then you don't have to do any calculation. You can get the answer is D. Okay, 70. A wire loop encloses an area and has a resistance. A loop is placed in the magnetic field perpendicular. A sudden remove, how much the charge flows? Okay, so basically you change the magnetic field. So this tells you that you should use the Faraday's law. This is the Faraday's law. And then you know that this is IR. And the I is the change of the charge divided by the change of charge divided by time changes. This is, so this tell you that delta Q is equals to delta phi divided by R. So what is the phi? Phi is the magnetic flux between B times area. So, but your B start from 0 and start from non-zero, go to 0. So change of the B just 0. Change of the magnetic field just the original magnetic amplitude. So basically this one is BA divided by R. This is the answer. Okay, so what we need to do is 0.5 times 0.5 is the magnetic field times 10 times minus 4. This is changed to meter square divided by resistance. Okay, so this is the answer. And neglect this minus sign because they ask about how many charges. So the answer is A. The answer is A because this is negative 10 to the negative 4. 0.5 times 10 is 5. So the answer is A. The answer is A. Okay, 71. Non-relativistic electron moving in a circle with magnetic field. Ask about R1 over R2. Oh, this is the common sense that we already proved before. We already showed that R equals to mv over qb. So R1 divided by R2 is just V1 divided by V2 because the rest are the same. So the answer is 1/3. 1/3. Answer is B. Answer is B. Okay, 72. Following statement about bosons and fermions is true. Okay, so a boson has symmetric wave function and orbit. So the answer A is false. B is also false. The answer is D. So fermion have the anti-symmetry and obeys Pauli exclusion principle. Common sense. So the answer is D. So 73 ask about history. Ask about which one is the this J5 particle. The answer is A. Parity violation with interactions. If you don't know this part, then you should go to see the what? The discovered J-side particle signal provides evidence. Okay, I mean, I don't know this answer, but you can go to Google it. And so the answer is D. Charmed quarks. Actually, I don't know this answer. So 73 is actually I don't know. Maybe I should Google it. But somehow find you will need some standard model background. We will need some standard model, some key idea from the particle physics to get the answer correctly. Although it's usually difficult. So 74 shows that the object placed in a distance r and has a radius curvature, and the point C is the center of the curvature of the mirror. Ask about the image. Also, we have the formula 1 over r plus 1 over L. L means the image is equal to minus 2 over r. Why is minus sign, right? Because this is if this is how should I say that, concave and convex. So concave and convex are different. So for this one, it should be positive. For this one, it should be negative. Okay, so you can solve this. L is 1 over minus r over 3, and the amplification factor is minus L divided by R. So it's positive. So positive means that it's the same orientation. So the answer is, because it's arbitrary, the answer is D or E, and ask you are the left or right. Remember, this is a mirror. So the positive sign is down to the left, and the negative sign is at the right. So this is the convention in this formula. So since we solved this minus sign, so it should be on the right. It should be on the right. So the answer is E. The answer is E. And the plus sign means this is upright. Upright. So remember okay. So let me summarize here. So basically, if you use this formula, the left hand side is positive, the right hand side is negative. Also if m is larger than 0, means it's upright. If m is less than 0, means it's inverted. This is for the mirror. Basically, there are two kinds of mirrors, or the usual mirror. So you remember this convention, the formula, and you can solve 74 just by plugging in the formula. Also, I think it's enough for one video, and I will see you guys in next time. And be sure to subscribe to my channel.